Guys, there are some major changes happening with Social Security right now. From delayed payments to new tax proposals and benefit increases, there's a lot to unpack here. So if you or someone you love relies on Social Security, this is an update you won't want to miss. Let's start with those Social Security taxes, because this is something we get asked about a lot. And many of you may not know this, but Social Security benefits weren't always taxed. In fact, before 1984, retirees received their Social Security checks tax-free. But then Congress decided to change that, and now many retirees end up paying taxes twice on the same money. First, you pay into Social Security with every paycheck, and then when you retire and you receive those benefits, many retirees are taxed again. Some people have called this an unfair double tax on Social Security benefits. Those people tend to argue that seniors have already paid their dues and that taxing Social Security again just takes more money out of their pockets when they need it the most. That's why several lawmakers have introduced bills that would stop the federal government from collecting taxes on Social Security benefits. There are a few different bills that have been introduced, and not all of them have the same effect, so I wanted to talk to you about that today. Representative Thomas Massie has reintroduced the Senior Citizens Tax Elimination Act. This bill aims to stop the federal government from collecting any taxes on Social Security benefits at all. But here's the thing that many of the major news outlets aren't saying. Not everyone has to pay taxes on their Social Security benefits. It really depends on how much money you make. It's based on your total combined income. So if you're single and you make more than $25,000, or if you're married and you make over $32,000 together, then you might have to pay taxes on a percentage of your Social Security benefits. This mostly affects seniors who have other income sources like pensions, investments, or those who keep working after retirement age. The good news for low-income seniors is that you likely fall beneath those thresholds and you most likely will not be taxed on your benefits. I think that's why Senators Marshall and Blackburn took a different approach in their proposal, which is called the Retirees First Act. Because instead of completely eliminating all the federal taxes on Social Security benefits, they increased those earning limits to $34,000 for a single person or $68,000 for a couple, and their proposal would also adjust those limits for COLA increases and so on. Now, if either of these bills become law, they could significantly reduce the tax burden on retirees across the country by removing or reducing those federal taxes on Social Security benefits. However, it's important to also remember that 11 states also tax those benefits, and these federal bills will not affect those state taxes. Now, if at this point you're confused about how Social Security taxes work, I don't blame you. The system is complicated, and the answers are all a bit convoluted. According to H&R Block, if you meet or exceed those income limits, the federal government can tax all kinds of Social Security benefits. They said, quote, all Social Security benefits are taxable in the same way. This applies to spousal benefits, survivor benefits, and disability benefits like Social Security disability insurance. They said that Social Security benefits paid to children could still be taxable to the child as well. The only exception is SSI, which is not taxable. So if you're worried about whether or not you should be paying taxes on your benefits, I would strongly recommend that you visit a volunteer income tax assistance site or a VITA site for free tax help. Honestly, I recommend meeting with a VITA volunteer anyway, because I recently discovered some really incredible state tax benefits that a lot of seniors miss out on. For example, the state of Idaho offers a $120 per person grocery tax credit that people who don't file taxes often miss. And you don't even have to file your taxes to get it. You just have to file the right form at the right time. A VITA volunteer should be able to help you identify any special credits that you may be eligible for. But before we move on to the rest of our Social Security news, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Should Social Security benefits be taxed? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments below. Now let's talk about one of the biggest changes to Social Security in decades, the Social Security Fairness Act. This new law is expected to boost Social Security payments for around 3 million people and even provide some significant back pay as well. Now, we've talked about this a lot on our channel, so just as a quick refresher, the Fairness Act repealed the windfall elimination provision and the government offset provision, which are two rules that affected public employees and their spouses. This bill was signed into law in early January, but the Social Security Administration has recently released an update about this that has both good and bad news in it. The good news is that around 3 million people will see an increase in their benefits under this act. That increase will depend on what type of benefits you receive, how much your pension is, and other factors. The Social Security Administration said that some people may see a very small increase, while others could see an increase of more than $1,000 a month. Since the law also provides for back pay, that means that you could receive over $12,000 in back pay if you're eligible for those $1,000 a month increases. That is a significant figure that could make a really big difference for a lot of people. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is that the Social Security Administration says it could take more than a year to adjust everyone's payments and issue that back pay. Why? Because this law affects around 3 million retirees, and the SSA has to manually review every single case individually. And that's on top of keeping up on current applications and working through their existing backlog of disability cases. It's a lot of work. And it also leaves a lot of seniors who need that money in limbo, and that's not fair. That's why lawmakers are demanding immediate action. A bipartisan group of senators is pressuring the SSA to speed up the process so that retirees aren't waiting indefinitely for that money. Senator Bill Cassidy and 26 other lawmakers sent a bill to the Social Security Administration demanding the immediate implementation of this program. They said that they want monthly updates until all those benefits are distributed, which kind of sounds like even more work for the Social Security Administration. But I guess it creates accountability, which is always a good thing. I guess it's also worth mentioning that the longer this takes to implement, the bigger those back pay checks will be. The law specified that the increase would apply for all benefits after December 2023. So if you're eligible for this, it means that every month that passes increases the amount of money that you'll receive in retroactive payments. I know that's not a lot of comfort when you're struggling to cover your expenses right now, though. So let's talk about what you can do right now. If you believe that you're eligible for increased Social Security benefits due to this new law, don't just wait. You can take action now. So if you never applied for benefits because of these rules, you need to apply immediately. The SSA is advising eligible people to file as soon as possible to avoid missing out on those retroactive payments. Your application date affects your start date, which could affect the back pay you receive from the Fairness Act. You can apply for retirement or disability benefits on the official Social Security website. I've heard that the retirement application is fairly straightforward, but the disability application can be very complicated. It honestly feels like the more you need the help, the harder it is to get, because you have to jump through all sorts of different loopholes to complete that process, and it can be really hard to do if you're struggling with a disability. So if you need help applying for Social Security disability, our sponsor Injury Claims can help you. You can use the links on screen to get help with either your application or your appeal. Now, if you already get benefits, but your payments are reduced because of these rules, you need to check on your paperwork. Make sure that your mailing address and direct deposit information is updated with the SSA so that they can adjust your benefits as quickly as possible. Once you know that information is right, you don't need to do anything else just yet. I recommend taking care of all of this online as well, because the phone wait times can be insane. News 5 recently shared the story of Gloria in Walton, Britain, who waited on the phone for more than 3 hours just to try to change their address. If you do have to call the Social Security office, it's recommended that you call your local Social Security office first instead of the main nationwide hotline number. They said that you can also call 800-772-1213 to get the line with the callback feature so that you don't have to wait on hold forever. Now, I do have one last update for you before we wrap up for today, and this one is a little bit personal. We're going to be trying some new things on our channel this month, and there's one in particular that I'm really excited about. I don't usually do live Q&As, but I'd like to invite you to subscribe and stay tuned for a very exciting live stream broadcast that we're planning for Tuesday, February 25th. I'm going to be talking to Ari Parker, the co-founder and senior Medicare advisor at Chapter, and he'll be answering your Medicare questions live and in real time. So mark your calendars now, because that's an event you're not going to want to miss. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our other videos for more ways to save money and get free stuff. I'll see you very soon.